For the longest time, and how we've ruled this, Indian fashion's been all about festive wear, notably weddings. Tarun Tehliani, JJ Valaya, Suneet Verma, all icons, and yet, in their prime, have they rarely gone beyond these. The heavily embroidered lehengas to go with ornate jewelry. And that, like it or not, is their signature style.
See, I think one thing you have to realize that every designer kind of comes up with an identity. They are identified with certain looks. That designer has a vocabulary, and within that vocabulary he is innovating, but it's not that dramatically different.
Well, it's certainly not very different on the ramp, but each of the designers has expanded his repertoire beyond just the creation of a new line of ramp couture. Suneet Verma designs interiors for BMW, delves into kiddie fashion with Armani Jr., and most importantly, he collaborates with Judith Lieber to make minaudiers that command global interest.
They liked my embroideries and they felt that the clothes that I did, which were very feminine or very pretty or had a lot of Swarovski or very sort of delicate embroidery, sort of befitted the entire Judith Lieber customer profile as well. I think it adds to my brand. I don't necessarily want to get the Oscar. I'm happy to see my product on the person getting the Oscar.
Known and celebrated for his elaborate designs, JJ Valaya has turned curator for his home decor store, Home of the Traveller.
The Home of the Traveller essentially involves hand-picked sort of collections related to home, of course, from various parts of the world, put together cohesively in one story. And since it's curated, I'm not within the boundaries of a look.
With Swarovski crystals on his lehengas, Tarun Tehliani may not experiment too much with his bridal couture, but he takes his signature to watches for Timex, to television sets for View, and to bridal jewelry for Azwa. And there's the grande dame of bridal fashion, Ritu Kumar, whose son Amrish sees far more potential in Ritu Kumar's Pret line.
When the time came with Amrish, my son, who wanted to do a label line, a younger line, he wanted to do far more Pret. He did not want to remain in the wedding market, and he doesn't want to do personalized stuff at all.
Right.
There was an immediate connect. I knew what to do. Label line came in, which was a blend between what we do with the crafts and the colors, with very modern silhouettes from all over the world.
But also from that generation of fashion designers is Wendell Rodrigues, who, after taking his avant-garde fashion way beyond bridal couture, has now penned down his love for Goa in this book, Moda Goa, and is nursing other plans as well.
Open a museum of Goan costume based on my book Moda Goa, and also attached to that open a kind of school that trains postgraduates of fashion into the reality of fashion for the industry.
So while the old guard changes, who has taken on the mantle of innovation on Indian ramps? Well, say hello to a fresh breed of designers.
All these new designers who are coming up, next generation of the designers like Gaurav Gupta or Varun Bahal or Anamika Khanna, they have their signature styles. They come up with new looks every now and then. Like Gaurav has done what amazing sari, gown, lehenga combination, but it's a completely, I would say, innovative, evolved look, which is for the modern generation bride.
We have already redefined the sari. We have made the sari into a sari gown. In fact, this is the new global Indian language, which even foreigners, I have like people from all over the world, the NRI clientele from Hong Kong, New York, Canada, everywhere, and even foreigners like white people wearing my sari gowns and not feeling uncomfortable in it. So that is the right bridge, I would say, in a very direct way, but there's a new language to Indian wear altogether.
An early learner of that language is also Masaba Gupta, who follows her mentor Wendell Rodrigues in creating fashion that is distinct and unique. Infusing tradition with a modern twist, her colourful printed saris, peplum dresses with a sari drape, and harem pants are all charting a new course in Indian fashion.
When I started off, I was much more organic in my approach to fashion. I used a lot of ikat, a lot of handloom,
My prints were much more intricate, I'd say. Now they've become kind of a whim. You know, I do things very spontaneously, where I see something and I may like it and I'll just add my touch to it and do something.
And expect that young maturity from designer duo Shivan and Naresh. Both are products of the National Institute of Fashion in Delhi, launching their label in 2010 in the tough new market of resort wear.
It's very logical to be in this category. We live a swim and resort lifestyle, so it was in fact kind of strange why there's been no brand that caters to that aspect.
Well, now they are. From the one-shoulder bow mayo to cut-out bathing suits to their magic trikini to the highly sought-after bikini sari, it's a new window to Indian fashion for the world at large.
The idea behind a product like bikini sari was that it was a silhouette that didn't exist in the fashion dictionary. The reason why we felt that a product like this needs to exist was that there's one garment that could possibly just marry the freedom of a Western bikini with the modesty of an Indian sari, and that's essentially what the product was about.
So new sensibilities, a freshness to approach, and global aspirations to boot. Can this generation of Indian fashion designers then take it well beyond the bridal couture that the earlier generation made so famous? It's a space that a spy will watch with bated breath.